The stars looked different from the observation deck of Earth Defense Station Alpha. Commander Alan Wright had spent enough time in space to notice the subtle changes. Some stars were dimmer now, blocked by the massive ships that hung in the darkness beyond Mars' orbit. Ships that didn't belong to humans. Alan rubbed his tired eyes. At 52, he was one of the oldest active commanders in the Earth Defense Force. He had earned every gray hair in his short brown cut. The scars on his face told stories of past battles, reminders of humanity's first contact 28 years ago. "They're moving again, sir," said Lieutenant Susan Miller, her voice cutting through his thoughts. She stood at the holographic display, her red hair tied back tightly. Her fingers moved quickly across the controls as she zoomed in on the alien fleet. "How many ships?" Alan asked, walking over to join her. 87 main vessels, hundreds of smaller craft," Susan replied. "They're forming the same pattern as the Trizacs did in 41. Alan nodded. The Trizacs had been the third alien race to try taking Earth. They hadn't learned from the failures of the first two. These new aliens, the Vraxians, seemed just as ignorant. "Send the standard warning message," Alan ordered. "Give them one chance to leave." Susan pressed a button. The message was simple. "Earth is protected. Any hostile action will be met with full force. Turn back now." The same warning had been sent to 6 other alien fleets over the years. None had listened. Alan didn't expect these aliens would be any different. "Message sent," Susan confirmed. "Do you think they'll respond?" Alan shook his head. "They never do. They see our cities, our cars, our planes. They think we're primitive." "They don't know our history," Susan said quietly. That was the truth that no alien species seemed to understand. Humans had been fighting each other for thousands of years. They had gotten very good at war. When the first aliens attacked Washington, D.C. in 2041, humanity had been surprised but not unprepared. Within weeks, nations that had been enemies joined forces. Weapons designed to kill other humans were turned toward the stars. The aliens never expected such fierce resistance. They never understood that humans had been preparing for war their entire existence. "Sir, we're getting movement from their fleet," Susan reported suddenly. "Energy readings are spiking." Alan's face hardened. "They've made their choice. Alert. All Earth defense platforms. Wake up the moon base. Tell Mars Command to stand ready." "Yes, sir," Susan replied, her fingers flying across the console. Alarms began to sound throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors as crew members ran to their battle stations. This was not a drill. This was what they had trained for. "First wave of alien ships breaking formation," Susan announced. "They appear to be targeting major cities, New York, Beijing, Moscow, London." "Just like the others," Alan muttered. "It was always the same. Target the population centers. Try to cause panic." The aliens never realized that humans had been practicing city defense for centuries. "Bringing main weapons online," Susan said. "Defense platforms report ready status." The holographic display showed Earth surrounded by dozens of small dots, orbital defense platforms built after the first invasion, hidden weapons that no alien scout ship had ever detected, Earth's secret guardians. "Let them get closer," Alan ordered. "Wait until they're committed to their attack run." On the display, the alien ships moved closer to Earth. Their formation was perfect, clearly designed to overwhelm any normal planetary defense. But Earth was not normal. Earth had survived 6 invasions already. "They're entering firing range of the platforms," Susan reported. "Wait," Alan said, watching the display. Carefully, the alien ships continued their approach, unaware of the trap they were flying into. "Wait. Now." Susan pressed a control. "All platforms firing." Across Earth orbit, the hidden defense platforms activated at once. Beams of energy shot out from dozens of positions, catching the alien fleet by surprise. On the display, Alan watched as the first wave of enemy ships exploded. "Direct hits on 23 vessels," Susan reported, a hint of satisfaction in her voice. "The rest are breaking formation." "They're confused," Alan said. "They didn't expect resistance so far out. Launch fighters from Moonbase." The display showed new dots emerging from the lunar surface, Hundreds of Earth's best fighter craft hidden below the moon's surface in bases no alien had ever detected. Fighters away, Susan confirmed. Mars' defense fleet is also moving to engage. Ryu, alien fleet's neat formation had broken apart. Some ships tried to continue toward Earth. Others turned to face the unexpected attacks. Their confusion was clear in their movements. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from their command ship," Susan said suddenly. Alan raised an eyebrow. This was new. None of the previous invaders had tried to communicate once the fighting started. "Put it through," he ordered. The holographic display changed to show an alien face. The Vraxian had gray skin, 4 eyes, and what looked like breathing tubes running down its neck. It spoke in its own language, but the translation computer converted its words to English. "This is Fleet Commander Zex Toral of the Vraxian Dominion," the alien said. "Cease your resistance immediately. Your primitive weapons cannot defeat our armada." Alan smiled slightly. "This is Commander Alan Wright of the Earth Defense Force. You've made a serious mistake, Commander Zex Toral. You should have studied our history more carefully." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in what might have been confusion. "Your species has barely reached your own moon. You have no standing among the galactic powers." "We don't need standing," Alan replied. "We just need you to leave. Look at your fleet, Commander. How many ships have you already lost? 23? 24 now?" On the display, another alien vessel exploded as Earth fighters swarmed around it. "This is impossible," the alien commander said. "Our intelligence indicated—" "Your intelligence was wrong," Alan cut him off. "Every species that has attacked Earth has made the same mistake. You look at our cities, our technology, our politics, and you think we're weak. You don't understand what humans are." The alien's face showed no expression that Alan could read, but its silence spoke volumes. "We have spent our entire history fighting each other," Alan continued. "Every weapon, every strategy, every defense we've developed was to protect against other humans. When you attack us, you're not fighting some peaceful species that just discovered space travel. You're fighting the most dangerous predators in the galaxy." As if to emphasize his point, the display showed more alien ships exploding as Earth's combined forces attacked from multiple directions. "Last chance, Commander," Alan said. "Take your remaining ships and leave our solar system. Tell others what you found here." The alien commander stared at him for a long moment. Then the transmission cut off. "They're regrouping," Susan reported. "Looks like they're preparing for another attack." Alan nodded. "They never learn. Bring our main guns online. Show them why no one survives an attack on Earth." Fleet Commander Zex Toral slammed his 4-fingered hand against the control panel. Around him, the command bridge of the Vraxian flagship buzzed with frantic activity. Status reports flowed in from all sections of the fleet. None of them were good. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "These humans should not have this level of technology." His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Vril, looked up from her station. Her gray skin had paled to an unhealthy white. "The scout reports were wrong," she said simply, "or incomplete. These defense systems were hidden from our observers." Zex Toral hissed through his breathing tubes. The invasion plan had been perfect. The Vraxian Dominion had conquered 12 worlds in the past century. Earth should have been the 13th. The scout ships had reported a divided planet with primitive technology. The humans still used fossil fuels. They fought each other over resources and territory. Their space program barely reached their own moon. Yet now 29 Vraxian ships were destroyed. Hundreds of crew members were dead. And the human counterattack was growing stronger by the minute. "New energy signatures detected," the sensor officer reported. "Launching from Earth's surface." The main view screen showed dozens of small craft rising from different points on the planet. They moved in perfect formation, clearly heading for the Vraxian fleet. "Target those vessels," Zex Toral ordered. "Use the pulse cannons." "Sir," the weapons officer replied. "The pulse cannons are designed for large ships. These human craft are too small and fast." Zex Toral curled his upper lip in frustration. The pulse cannons were the pride of the Vraxian military, powerful enough to destroy cities from orbit. But they were not meant for dogfighting with small, agile craft. Then use the defensive lasers, he ordered. Shoot them down. The lasers began firing, streaks of red light shooting out from the Vraxian ships. But the human fighters were incredibly fast. They dodged and weaved, avoiding most of the shots. Those that were hit simply exploded, but there were so many of them. Sir, they're targeting our engines, Vril reported. 3 more of our cruisers have lost propulsion. Zexitoral moved to the tactical display. The neat invasion formation of his fleet was gone. Ships were scattered across Earth orbit, many damaged, some completely destroyed. The human forces seemed to be everywhere at once, fighters from Earth, larger ships from their moon, and now strange missiles rising from the planet's oceans. Missiles from underwater launchers, the sensor officer said with disbelief. They've hidden weapons in their oceans. Zexitoral had never heard of such a tactic. What kind of species hid weapons underwater? The more he saw of human warfare, the less he understood it. It was as if they had been preparing for this exact scenario for centuries. New transmission coming in, the communications officer announced. From Earth. Put it through, Zexitoral ordered. Perhaps they were ready to surrender. The screen showed a different human this time, a female with dark skin and short black hair. She wore what appeared to be a military uniform with many decorations. This is General Paula Johnson of the United Earth Military Command, she said. Her voice was calm, almost casual, as if she were not in the middle of a battle. Your forces are being decimated, Commander Zexitoral. You have 2 options. Retreat immediately, or be destroyed completely. Zexitoral felt a surge of anger. You dare to threaten the Vraxian Dominion? We have conquered worlds far greater than yours. The human general's expression didn't change. I'm not threatening you. I'm giving you a chance to save the lives of your remaining troops. Look at your tactical display. You've lost 1/3 of your fleet in less than an hour. She was right, though Zexitoral would never admit it. The battle was going badly, but retreat was unthinkable. The Dominion had never retreated. The attack continues, he said firmly. Prepare the landing craft. We will take this planet on the ground. The general nodded, as if she had expected this answer. Very well. But you should know something about humans, Commander. We've been killing each other for thousands of years. We're very good at it. The transmission ended. Zexitoral turned to his officers. Launch the landing craft. Target the major military bases first. Sir, Vril said hesitantly, perhaps we should reconsider. If their orbital defenses are this strong, we are Vraxians. Zexitoral shouted. We do not retreat. The ground forces will succeed where the fleet has failed. 300 landing craft launched from the remaining Vraxian ships. Each carried 50 soldiers armed with plasma rifles and energy shields. Advanced technology that had overwhelmed the defenses of a dozen other worlds. The craft entered Earth's atmosphere, their heat shields glowing red as they descended. On the tactical display, Zexitoral watched them approach their targets. Military. Bases in North America, Asia, and Europe. Then something strange happened. The human defenses didn't fire at the landing craft. They seemed to be letting them land. Sir, the sensor officer said, the humans are not shooting at our landing craft. Zexitoral frowned. Perhaps they know resistance is futile. But deep, inside he felt uneasy. Nothing about this invasion had gone as expected. The humans were too prepared, too organized. It was almost as if, Sir, the communications officer suddenly shouted. Emergency transmissions from the landing craft. The bridge speakers filled with the sounds of battle. Vraxian soldiers shouting, explosions, weapons fire, and underneath it all a strange sound that Zexitoral couldn't identify. What's happening down there? He demanded. The tactical display showed the landing zones. The dots representing the landing craft were disappearing one by one. They're being ambushed, Vril said, her voice tight with tension. The humans let them land, and then attacked. Another transmission came through, the voice of a Vraxian ground commander. They were waiting for us, hidden bunkers, weapons we've never seen. They're everywhere. Request immediate evacuation. The transmission cut off in a burst of static. On the display, another landing craft disappeared. Sir, Vril said quietly. I think we should withdraw. Zexteral stared at the display. In just 2 hours, his mighty invasion force had been reduced to scattered, damaged ships. The landing attempt had failed completely, and now human ships were moving to surround what remained of the Vraxian fleet. For the first time in his military career, Fleet Commander Zexteral gave the order he never thought he would give. Signal all remaining ships. We are leaving this system. As the Vraxian fleet limped away from Earth, Zexteral made a personal vow. He would return to the Dominion and tell them the truth about humans. They were not the primitive, easy target the scouts had reported. They were warriors, perhaps the most dangerous species the Vraxians had ever encountered. And they had been waiting for this attack all along. Major Olivia Parker climbed into her fighter jet with practiced ease. Around her, the underground hangar buzzed with activity as dozens of pilots prepared for battle. The massive rock ceiling above them, 50 meters of solid mountain, had hidden this base from alien scans for decades. Status report, she called to her crew chief, Sam Bennett, a stocky man with graying hair who had served in the old Air Force before the first alien invasion. All systems green, Sam replied, patting the side of her jet. Pulse cannons charged, shield generator at full capacity, Olivia nodded. The shields and pulse weapons had been copied from the third alien invasion. Humans hadn't invented them. They had taken them from their enemies and made them better. Command says the Vraxians are retreating, Sam said. Guess they didn't expect us to be ready for them. They never do, Olivia replied. She secured her helmet and checked her instruments. But some of their ships are still in orbit. They might try another attack. The radio in her cockpit crackled to life. All pilots, this is General Johnson. The enemy fleet is withdrawing, but we've detected a single vessel breaking away from the main group. It's heading toward Montana. Likely target is the Nevada Research Facility. Raptor Squadron is cleared to intercept. Olivia felt her heart rate increase. The Nevada facility housed technology from all 6 previous alien invasions. If the Vraxians discovered what was there, Raptor Squadron, form up on me, she ordered into her radio. We're going alien hunting. 20 fighters roared out of the mountain hangar, their engines glowing blue in the night sky. Olivia led them in a tight formation, climbing rapidly to intercept the alien ship. Target is a Vraxian battlecruiser, her second-in-command, Lieutenant Jack Robinson, reported. Too big to have landed. Must be planning to bomb the facility from high altitude. Not if we stop it first, Olivia replied. She switched to the squadron channel. Remember Dubai. The phrase needed no explanation. 28 years ago, the first alien invasion had destroyed Dubai before Earth's defenses were ready. 50 million people died that day. Every pilot, every soldier remembered Dubai. It was why they fought so hard. The alien ship came into view as they broke through the clouds, a dark shape against the stars, much larger than their small fighters. Its hull was marked with damage from earlier battles, but it was still deadly. Weapons hot, Olivia ordered. Attack pattern Delta. The human fighters spread out, approaching the alien vessel from multiple angles. This tactic had worked against previous invaders, overwhelmed their targeting systems with too many small, fast-moving targets. The alien ship detected them. Green energy beams shot out trying to catch the Earth fighters, but Olivia's squadron was too quick, dodging and weaving through the defensive fire. First pass, she called. Hit their weapons. 20 fighters streaked past the alien ship, firing precision bursts at the cannon emplacements. Explosions dotted the Vraxian vessel as several of its weapons were destroyed. Good hits, Jack reported. Their forward guns are down. The alien ship tried to turn, to bring undamaged weapons to bear on the fighters. But in atmosphere, the massive vessel was slow and clumsy compared to the human aircraft. Second pass, Olivia ordered. Target their engines. Again the squadron attacked, this time focusing on the glowing drive units at the rear of the ship. More explosions bloomed against the dark hull. They're losing altitude, Jack said. Engine 3 is disabled. Inside the Vraxian ship, Captain Dreskar fought to keep his vessel airborne. Half his bridge crew was dead. Warning lights flashed on every console. How are they doing this? He demanded of no one in particular. They're using our own weapons against us. His tactical officer looked up from a damaged console. "Sir, these fighters, they're not like the ones we faced in orbit, they're more advanced." Drezkar stared at the sensor display. The human aircraft were indeed different from those they had fought earlier. These had energy weapons and shield, technology that no primitive species should possess. A realization struck him. "They've taken technology from previous invasions," he said slowly. "They're using weapons from other species against us." Another explosion rocked the ship as the human fighters made a third attack run. "Hull breach in sections 4 through 7, a crew member reported. "We're losing power to life support." Drezkar knew his mission was failed. The Nevada facility would remain safe. Whatever secrets the humans had there, whatever stolen alien technology they were using, would continue to protect Earth. "Prepare the self-destruct," he ordered. "We cannot allow our ship to be captured." But before his crew could act, a new voice came over the ship's communication system. A human voice. "Vraxian vessel. This is Major Olivia Parker of Earth Defense Force. Your ship is disabled and surrounded. Power down your remaining weapons and prepare to be boarded," Drezkar hissed in surprise. "How are they on our communication frequency?" His communications officer looked up in shock. "They're using Vraxian codes, sir. They shouldn't know those." Outside, Olivia watched the alien ship struggle to stay airborne. Smoke poured from multiple hull breaches. Its weapons had fallen silent. "They're not responding," Jack said. "They never do," Olivia replied. "Prepare boarding teams. We need to capture this ship before they destroy it." She had seen this before. When alien invaders realized they were losing, they often tried to self-destruct, rather than let humans capture their technology. But Earth forces had become very good at preventing this. "Boarding shuttles launching from Montana base," Jack reported. "ETA 3 minutes." Olivia kept her fighter circling the crippled alien vessel. She thought about all the invasions Earth had faced. Each time humans had grown stronger. Each time they had taken alien technology and improved it, adapted it, turned it against the next invaders. The Vraxians had made the same mistake as all the others. They had looked at Earth and seen a divided planet with outdated technology. They hadn't understood what humans really were: survivors, adapters, warriors. Inside the alien ship, Captain Drezkar heard the sound of cutting tools against the hull. The humans were breaking in. The self-destruct system was damaged and wouldn't activate. "Destroy all data records," he ordered desperately. "Don't let them learn anything about our technology." But it was too late. The bulkhead doors burst open, and human soldiers poured in wearing advanced combat armor that looked suspiciously like modified Vraxian design. As he was captured, Drezkar finally understood what no invading force had realized until it was too late. Humans didn't just fight wars. They learned from them. They took the weapons of their enemies and made them their own. That was why no one survived an attack on Earth. The aliens had finally learned, but as always, too late. Dr. Karen Wilson walked through the secure laboratory deep beneath the Nevada research facility. The white walls and bright lights made the massive alien ship parts look even more strange and out of place. Scientists in protective suits moved around the Vraxian technology, scanning it, taking samples, learning its secrets. Karen had been studying alien technology for 20 years. She had seen pieces from all 6 previous invasion attempts. Each time humans had learned more. Each time they had grown stronger. "Dr. Wilson," a voice called. She turned to see her assistant, Greg Harris, hurrying toward her with a tablet computer. "We've finished the initial analysis of the Vraxian ship's computer systems." Karen took the tablet and examined the data. "They're using a quantum processing matrix," she said, "similar to what the Zoltar used in their invasion." Greg nodded. "But more advanced. The Vraxians have improved on the Zoltar design." Karen smiled slightly. "Just as we improved on it. Interesting how different species find similar solutions." They walked together toward a sealed room at the back of the laboratory. Inside, behind thick glass, sat Captain Drezkar of the Vraxian ship. The alien looked uncomfortable in the Earth atmosphere, even with the breathing apparatus the humans had provided. "Has he said anything useful?" Karen asked. "Not yet," Greg replied. But the translation software is still being adjusted. Their language has some similarities to the Trizac speech patterns. Karen nodded. The Trizacs had been the third species to attempt an invasion of Earth. That makes sense. The Vraxians probably had contact with them. She pressed a button on the wall, activating the room's communication system. Captain Drezikar, I am Dr. Karen. Wilson, I hope you are being treated well. The alien looked up at her voice. The translator converted his reply into English. I demand to be returned to my people. This captivity violates galactic law. Karen raised an eyebrow. Galactic law also prohibits unprovoked attacks on developing worlds, does it not? Yet your fleet attacked Earth without warning. The alien was silent for a moment. Then, Earth was deemed a suitable target for expansion by Vraxian High Command. Your technology level indicated you would not be able to defend yourselves. And yet here we are, Karen said. Your fleet has retreated. Your ship was captured. Your assessment of Earth was wrong. Drezkar's 4 eyes blinked in what Karen had learned was a sign of confusion in many alien species. How does your planet possess such advanced defense systems? The scout reports showed primitive technology, internal combustion vehicles, fossil fuel power plants, basic spaceflight capabilities. Karen smiled. She had heard versions of this question from captives of previous invasions. The aliens never understood until it was too late. We show you what we want you to see, she explained. After the first invasion, we learned to hide our true capabilities. We maintained the appearance of a divided, technologically limited world. But why? Drezkar asked. To identify threats, Karen said simply. Species that would attack a seemingly defenseless planet reveal their true nature. Those who approach with peaceful intentions are welcomed openly. She touched a control, bringing up images on a screen visible to the alien. The images showed massive underground factories, hidden space stations, advanced research facilities, all concealed from orbital observation. Earth united after the first attack, Karen continued. Nations that had been enemies for centuries joined together against a common threat. We took the technology from the invaders' ships and studied it. When the second invasion came, we were better prepared. When the third came, we were waiting for them. Drezkar seemed to shrink in his seat. You've been using alien technology against new invaders. We've been improving alien technology, Karen corrected, combining the best elements from different species, creating hybrid systems more advanced than any single civilization has developed. She showed more images, human fighters with Zoltar drive systems, defense platforms with Trizax weapons, shield generators based on technology from the fourth invasion. But the scout reports, Drezkar protested. The surface technology is real. Karen nodded. We still use cars and planes and fossil fuels for everyday life. No need to reveal our true capabilities. The important technology stays hidden until it's needed. Greg stepped forward. Dr. Wilson, General Johnson is requesting your presence in command. The Vraxian fleet has left the solar system. Karen nodded. Thank you. She turned back to the alien captain. You will be treated well, Captain Drezikar, and eventually, you will be allowed to return to your people. Why would you release me? The alien asked suspiciously. Karen smiled. To deliver a message. In the main command center of the Nevada facility, General Paula Johnson stood before a wall of screens showing the retreating Vraxian ships. The images came from stealth satellites far beyond Earth's orbit, technology no alien species knew, humans possessed. The last ship has passed Neptune's orbit, an officer reported. They're accelerating to FTL speeds. Track them as long as possible, the general ordered. I want to know exactly where they're going. Karen entered the command center and approached the general. You wanted to see me? Paula nodded. We need to prepare for the diplomatic phase. Once the Vraxians report their defeat, other species will take notice. They always do, Karen agreed. After each invasion, we get diplomatic missions from 2 or 3 new civilizations. Curious about the planet that keeps defeating attackers, Paula said. How's the Vraxian captain? Confused, Karen replied. Like all the others. He can't understand how we defeated them. Paula smiled slightly. None of them ever consider our history. Thousands of years of humans fighting other humans. We've had more practice at warfare than most spacefaring species. And now we have their technology too, Karen added. One of the officers approached them. General, we're detecting a new signal. It appears to be a transmission from the Vraxian fleet. To whom? Paula asked. It's a broad transmission, the officer replied. They're broadcasting to multiple systems. Karen and Paula exchanged glances. This was new. Put it through, Paula ordered. The main screen changed to show Fleet Commander Zex Taral. The alien looked tired, defeated. He spoke in Vraxian, but the translation software converted his words to English. This is a warning to all civilizations in the galactic community, he said. The planet Earth is not what it appears to be. They possess technology far beyond their apparent development level. They have weapons and defenses adapted from multiple species. Do not attempt invasion, I repeat, do not attempt invasion of Earth. Paula switched off the screen. Well, that's interesting. None of the previous invaders sent out warnings. Maybe they're learning, Karen suggested. The general nodded slowly. Maybe. But will it be enough? Will others listen? Karen looked at the star map showing the Vraxian fleet's trajectory. Someone will. The ones who survive always do. 6 months after the Vraxian attack, Commander Alan Wright stood in the observation room of the United Earth Diplomatic Center in Geneva. Through the large windows, he could see the strange ship that had entered Earth orbit 3 days ago. Unlike the previous visitors, this ship had come alone. It had broadcast a message of peace in 12 different languages, including 3 Earth tongues. Do you think they're sincere? Asked Lieutenant Susan Miller, who stood beside him. Alan shrugged. Hard to say. The Vraxian warning has been spreading through nearby systems. These aliens, the Narratians, claim they want to establish diplomatic relations. That would be a first, Susan remarked. Since the first invasion 28 years ago, Earth had dealt with 7 hostile species and 0 friendly ones. The door opened, and Dr. Karen Wilson entered along with General Paula Johnson. Both women looked tired but satisfied. The meeting went well, Karen announced. The Narratian ambassador seems genuinely interested in peaceful relations. They've offered technology exchanges, Paula added. Medical advancements mainly. Nothing. Weapons related. Alan raised an eyebrow. And what do they want in return? Protection, Karen said simply. They're a small civilization, just 3 star systems. They've been harassed by the Vraxians for decades. Now that the Vraxians are warning everyone to stay away from Earth, they want to be our friends, Susan finished. Smart move. Alan turned back to the window, studying the alien ship. It was elegant, with smooth lines and no visible weapons. Very different from the battlecruisers Earth was used to seeing. The Council has approved preliminary diplomatic relations, General Johnson said. We're inviting their ambassador for a tour of New York tomorrow. Just the public areas, I assume, Alan said. Paula smiled. Of course. They don't get to see the underground facilities or the orbital platforms. Not yet, anyway. A young officer entered the room and saluted. Commander, we've detected another ship entering the system. It's Vraxian. Everyone tensed. Alan's hand automatically moved toward his sidearm. Just one ship? He asked. Yes, sir. Small. Appears to be a diplomatic vessel. The group exchanged surprised glances. This was unexpected. They're broadcasting a message, the officer continued. They say they're returning our prisoner as agreed, Captain Dreskar. Karen nodded. As we planned. We told him he would be released eventually. With a message for his people, Alan remembered. Well, it seems that message was received, Paula said. Tell Defense Command to allow the Vraxian ship to approach Earth orbit. Standard security protocols. The officer saluted and left. Susan looked at the others with confusion. I don't understand, she said. 6 months ago they tried to invade us, and now they're engaging in prisoner exchanges and respecting diplomatic protocols. They're adapting, Karen explained. Just as we adapted to each invasion, they're adapting to their defeat. Later that day, Captain Drezkar was formally released to the small Vraxian ship. After it departed, the Nilarian ambassador requested a private meeting with Earth's leadership. In a secure conference room, the alien, a tall, slender being with pale blue skin and large eyes, addressed the human representatives. My government has reviewed the Vraxian report about Earth, the ambassador said through a translator device. It is concerning. Concerning how? General Johnson asked. The report claims you have been collecting and improving technology from multiple species, the ambassador replied, that you maintain a facade of primitive development while hiding advanced capabilities. Karen glanced at Alan before responding. The Vraxians attacked us without provocation. We defended ourselves using every means available. The Nilarian made a gesture that the humans had learned meant acknowledgement. Of course, self-defense is recognized by all civilized species. But there is more to the report. The ambassador activated a small device projecting an image in the center of the table. It showed Earth, but not as humans normally saw it. This image revealed the hidden defense platforms in orbit, the bases on the moon, the underground facilities, across the planet. This is the true Earth according to Vraxian intelligence, the ambassador said. A heavily armed world that has defeated 7 different invasion forces. Alan leaned forward. If this information concerns your government, perhaps diplomatic relations aren't possible after all. On the contrary, the Nilarian replied. This information is why my government seeks alliance with Earth. We have been watching your world for some time, even before the Vraxian attack. The ambassador changed the image to show several different alien species. These are the civilizations that have attacked Earth. Do you know what they have in common? The humans exchanged glances. Karen spoke. They all assumed we would be easy to conquer. Yes, the Nilarian agreed. But more importantly, they are all expansionist empires, species that grow through conquest. There are many such civilizations in our galaxy, too many. The image changed again, showing a map of nearby star systems. The Nilarian people have survived by being useful to larger powers, the ambassador continued. We provide trade, resources, and diplomatic connections, but the balance of power is shifting. The expansionist empires grow more aggressive. And now you want Earth's protection, General Johnson stated. We want partnership, the Nilarian corrected. Earth has demonstrated it cannot be conquered. The Vraxian warning is spreading. Other aggressive species will take notice. Alan understood. You think Earth could become a deterrent, a world that predators avoid? The ambassador's large eyes blinked slowly. Precisely. And those who seek peace could find sanctuary in your shadow. The humans considered this. For nearly 3 decades, Earth had been fighting off alien invaders. The idea of having allies, peaceful allies, was new. What exactly are you proposing? Karen asked. A formal alliance, the Nilarian replied. Trade, cultural exchange, shared knowledge. We have medical technology that could benefit humans. You have defensive capabilities that would benefit us. General Johnson nodded slowly. We'll need to discuss this with the full council. Of course, the ambassador said, but consider this. The Vraxian warning will not deter everyone. Some will see it as a challenge. After the meeting, Alan stood again at the observation window, looking at the stars. Susan joined him. Do you think the Nilarians are right? She asked. Will others see the Vraxian warning as a challenge rather than a deterrent? Alan nodded. Some will. There's always someone who thinks they'll succeed where others failed. What will we do? The same thing we've always done, Alan replied. Adapt. Improve. Prepare. He turned from the window to face her. But maybe this time we won't be alone. Above them, the stars shone down on Earth. A planet that appeared ordinary from a distance. A blue world that had defeated 7 alien invasions. A place where the human capacity for warfare had been honed over thousands of years of internal conflict, creating the most dangerous defenders in the known galaxy. A world where no invader survived to try again. The aliens had finally learned that lesson, and soon the rest of the galaxy would learn it too.